Crude oil is 100% natural, organic, and gluten-free. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host Connor Monroe, and even in dead silence we all hear white noise. Since the Five Nights franchise is so popular, it obviously spawned some fan-made copies or clones. But since the fan base is mostly children, not all these games are going to be great. But which ones are me in high school of the fan game world? That's what we're exploring with today's list of the top 10 worst FNAF fan games. Be sure to stick around until number 1 because oh my actual god, this game is terrible. Now, roll the intro. And at 10, Five Nights at Boys. What the actual living hell is this game? Five Nights at Boys is a series of FNAF fan games made by using RPG Maker, so obviously not following the same principles as the original games. And it's a very crude take on the franchise that has you battling against party favors and recruiting other animatronics to join your team like a messed up version of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. The ultimate goal of the game is to defeat all security cameras and then defeat the final boss, and clearly it has an entirely different tone than the other games. The first game is based on the original FNAF, but introduces characters from the second like toy animatronics, Balloon Boy, and the Puppet. The second game is based on FNAF 2, with Toy Freddy being the main protagonist, and the third is based on FNAF 3, with Springtrap and Golden Freddy as playable characters. The games also have a final mixed version with a new story and updated content and balancing. The creators of F-Boys were fans of Golden Freddy's debauchery simulator, so aspects of those games have been covered as well. What? Oh my god. And at 9, Five Nights at Ripley's. Mostly known as Space Seclusion, the gameplay is like FNAF meets Alien Isolation, and it doesn't work. The animations for the alien itself are just way too human. It definitely wouldn't walk like that. And that's what makes the game feel less scary. The free roam mechanic is interesting, but it's not really going to help anyone when you're supposed to be watching the cameras to see where the alien is going. The game doesn't tell you the controls and tries to set itself up to be such a big and fun experience because it has infinite levels that just keep getting harder. But that to me seems like lazy game development. Infinite levels with increasing difficulty is like mobile game design. Having things get difficult and then adding new features should be the way to do it. Just because there are infinite nights doesn't make it not a FNAF clone with an Alien Isolation twist. And the name, Space Seclusion. Really? Talk about not creative, you just opened up the thesaurus and then found a synonym for isolation. And where do the aliens live? Space. And at 8, Five Nights at Weed. Created by a super Christian, which I think is ironic in and of itself, the only video on GameJolt page is called I Love You, and it's just a crappy doll stop motion, and the only description of this game is a link to a couple of the sounds used in the game. The comments on the game are atrocious. Aside from people legit commenting first comment 2018 and first comment 2019, people are saying the game doesn't work and you can't do anything. They also are having viruses, as one of the commenters says. These comments are worse than the ones on the other FNAF videos hating on us for misgendering a robot. Like, it's literally a robot, who cares? They say the game is incompletable and that there is no point in playing it, and I'll take their comments as fact, because apparently even PewDiePie played this and couldn't get it to work. I don't want to give my computer some virus that's going to cause it to have to stay in its case for the next month and a half. Topical. And at 7, Five Nights at YouTube Office. Hello? Welcome to your new super job at the YouTube office. Now, there's some things you need to know. First off, there are some YouTubers who tend to wander and sleepwalking. They may try to attack you, but don't worry, they probably won't. We've been looking for someone to fill this position for a while. No one seems to want it because of the rumors that have been going around. Rumor has it some YouTubers are possessed and haunt the YouTube offices at your scheduled work time. That's specific. Also, we have given you your very own PewDiePie head. It should work on all the YouTubers except PewDiePie himself. With PewDiePie, you have to keep a music box wound up. But if you don't, he will come after you no matter what. But don't worry, just wind up the music box. Put on the PewDiePie head if you need to, and everything should be good. Piece of cake. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. That is the description this game gives you, and I had to correct some grammar. And man, this guy doesn't even know how to use periods. Ellipses don't go at the end of every sentence. But also, the game cover is just bad. Maybe it's intended to be a riff on the YouTube thumbnails, but the fact that people in this game are big YouTubers shows that the decision would have been misguided. These YouTubers have good thumbnails. All you did was take Joey Graceffa's face and then cover Freddys with it. And then put YouTube's logo over the Freddy title and the really crappy white box that you drew with the brush tool. I could have done something better using MS Paint. I do the thumbnails for most of these videos if you didn't know. And at 6, Five Nights at Sonic's. Look, it's hard to make a game, no arguments. However, it's even harder to make a good game on Scratch. But the amount of Five Nights at Sonic games there are on Scratch hurts me on a deep level. I've talked about Five Nights at Sonic's before on another fan games list, but the thing is, it's not different from FNAF. The gameplay is exactly the same, if not a little clunkier, and the only thing that's different is the animatronics. They aren't even modeled, they're made to look 3D, they're just static. And while I understand what it takes to make a game, the rest of the FNAF fan base, or at least the majority, doesn't. So, they're complaining that the only way to make a good FNAF game is to add something new, but I disagree. You can have a good fan game that plays similarly to FNAF. Take Five Nights at Candy's for example. However, their graphics are on par if not better than the original FNAF. But a game like Joy of Creation Story Mode is a great game because it adds something new. If you want to make a great FNAF fan game, take your time with it. Have good graphics and craft a good story. Make your own characters and then you find something new to add into the mix and then boom, you're golden. Do something like just draw all the characters flatly with no shading and then use some of the same mechanics from FNAF 2 and it can't be good. And it definitely won't be. Just like my grammar. Halfway through at number 5, Five Nights at Warios. This game is in a similar vein to Five Nights at Sonic's, and while Sonic may feature characters from both Sonic and Mario, Five Nights at Warios only focuses on the Nintendo spectrum of characters. The game's loading screen is horrifyingly awkward, the faces of Wario and Luigi are just all kinds of wrong. However, the game also plays exactly the same as FNAF. Like, even Scott Cawthon was able to find ways to mix things up. And while FNAF World may not have been a terrible success, I found myself loving the Danger Keep Out minigame in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC.
I can't reset the power until Chica's gone. I've reset Chica. Oh. Come on, go. Reset, come on.
The game plays exactly like the original FNAF, and it's why everyone dislikes it. If you wanted to play FNAF, you could just play FNAF. And like I said, sure, you can make a good game if you use the same mechanics like FNAF, but FNAF also has their own animatronics, their own characters. But with Five Nights at Warios, you are literally just fighting against other famous characters like Wario, Waluigi, Mario, Luigi, and Peach. If you had made your own, I would have enjoyed it, but you didn't. So that's why you're on this list. And at 4, the worst FNAF World game ever made. The funny thing about this title is that it's basically just FNAF World. Boom! Roasted! But actually, though, the game is literally the worst FNAF World game. The screen is split into the full screen game and then another version of the exact same thing, taking up a quarter of your screen in the top left. The ability to focus on that corner is lost to me, and I don't want to have to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. The game gets stuck on a new item screen for like 5 minutes and then it's just basically FNAF World, which is really illegal and does not fall under fair use since the damn thing isn't different enough. It's not like if the game has bugs and then you fix them, it's a different game. Unless it's Skyrim, because if it's Bethesda, it's not a bug, it's a feature. But still, fixing bugs or making more content doesn't change the contents of the game, and therefore the game is highly illegal. It's only at number 4 because it will get worse from here. Bear with me. These next few are laughable. Getting close to the end at number 3, 5 Dank Nights at Memes. Look, considering how every time I try to say this title I say 5 Nights at Dank Memes instead of the actual title should speak for itself. While yes, the game is bad, it somehow managed to get itself 2 sequels, one of which is still in the works to my knowledge. There's a phone guy call that is literally a robot reading the same night one phone call that you get in FNAF. Plus, the doors are just red and gray boxes that say Meme Door and Big Meme Door on them. Oh, also it's on Scratch. The cameras are inaccessible as far as I could tell, and the fact that Shrek is the one who killed me is sad. And he only killed me because there was a delay between opening the doors and then closing them again, which isn't present in the normal game. While yes, you made a game and it's impressive, you took no care in making the game good. If you had a little more concentration or devotion and had tried this again, it may have been good, but it's also available on Scratch and there is no good FNAF games on Scratch. And at 2, the worst Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. The worst Five Nights at Freddy's fan game ever is, as it suggests, the self-proclaimed worst FNAF fan game ever. Loosely based on the original FNAF game, the game itself has no plot, kind of like the original, before the others came out. It takes characters from multiple different universes and puts them together in combination with canon characters like Chica, and also terribly made original characters. The list includes Bubsy the Bobcats, Shrek the Ogre, Chica the Chicken, Slime the Slime, Dolly the poorly made doll, Mad Father, a Psycho Man, and Ouija the evil Luigi who appears when you run out of power. But sadly enough, this game, despite all the bad characteristics of it, is beat out by one game. What could this game be? How on earth could it beat out the worst Five Nights at Freddy's fan game? Well, finally, and at number 1, Five Nights at the Car. The description of the game is, "Hey bro, thanks for doing this job. You are a 10-year-old kid who is in his car at the mall waiting for your mom, but weird things want to kill you, so your job is to protect yourself from them. If you're hearing this, you're crazy." What? This game is so absurdly bad, it hurts me. Thanks for doing this job. We're 10 waiting in a car. What job? The game is literally just a PNG file that looks absolutely atrocious with no functionality. Don't get me wrong, I know it takes a lot to make a game, but I could make a better game than this with Scratch. This is just a cardinal sin of humanity, and it needs to be put down. Take it out to pasture. Put a bullet between the eyes. God, I hope this was a joke. It's a PNG file. Ah! It's so bad. Oh my god, it makes me mad. There we have it, friends, the top 10 worst FNAF fan games. Which ones were god-awful for you from this list, and are there any games that weren't included that you would have liked to see? Let me know below, and on your way down, be sure you hit like and subscribe for daily gaming content, and ring that bell to join the clan and level up. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.